Hey, TikTok, YouTube, all you internet folks, Clue Man here. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Clue Man. So I think we're heading towards the fuck around and find out stage of electing a billionaire who appoints more billionaires to fix the system that made them all billionaires. Um, I don't know if you heard recently, Elon Musk, you know him, that's the co-president elect. Apparently, he bought the presidency or an equal partnership in the presidency with Donald Trump. He made some comment about crashing the economy, like things are going to be tough for a couple of years. Um, I'm pretty sure things are going to be tough from here on out for the poor, middle, and working class because they're talking about getting rid of the NLRB. That's the National Labor Relations Board, which has pretty much protected workers for over 100 years. Or no, yeah, but yeah, over 100 years. And they're also talking about passing a national right to work law. So essentially, there won't be any more unions. They're going to bust up the unions, and employers will have the right to fire you for cause, for whatever they want. Their choice. They're going to say, oh, our shareholders, all these other rich people, um, aren't making enough money right now. So we're going to cut costs. We're going to lay off, 10,000 workers. And the rest of you people who are still working here are going to have to work harder for less because we're not going to raise your salaries. Essentially, they want to have control of every facet of our lives. So the haves have taken over the country completely, and the have nots are going to be their slave labor force. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, you should probably look into some of those early um, 20th century mining towns. When a rich person owned a mine and built a town around the mine, had a company store in the town, didn't even pay the miners in US dollars. They paid the miners in fake monopoly money that they created, basically credits. And then that miner could only spend those credits at the company store. So you had these miners thinking, "Oh, I'm going to have a job, a good job." Well, they went and worked their ass off underground so the person who owned the mine could become a billionaire or millionaire, multimillionaire, and then they would get paid in these credits that they could only spend at the company store. So they're basically giving their paycheck back to the guy who owned the mine and the store. You should look into history. I guess you should just study history a little more and understand what's going on here. So I think what's happening. I'm not one to subscribe to conspiracy theory, but I think what's happening is they're planning on crashing the economy and doing a hard reset and having more of an economy like that, a Christo fascist economy where the government controls everything, the haves control everything, and the have nots are a slave labor force for the haves that have no voice and literally get paid just enough to get by barely. So the American dream is completely dead, and they don't want you to become a have. There's enough haves in their mind. They just want to have a bunch of have nots that work their ass off so they can keep being haves. Um, the true enemy of the poor, middle, and working class has always been the rich. And if you don't realize that, if you don't realize where you're at in that food chain, you're not the sharpest cheese on the cracker. There's your clues.